Brothers and sisters, Mrs. and Misters, givers of life, and every man's wife, today's episode of the Dented Cast, we're going to make an omelet. We're going to break some eggs. This is going to be a big one, and it's going to be emotional in many ways, and hopefully it's going to be healing, because that's the reason we're doing it. My name is Dobie Maxwell, along with me, my cosmic brother in struggle, the great Max Baumgartner. Buddy, we've been waiting for this one for a long time.
We have been, and thank you for watching. We appreciate that. If we're doing anything that you like, if you could just hit subscribe, that would help us a lot. We appreciate that very much. And leave comments, too. Good, bad, indifferent. Whatever you would like to leave, we'll take. Dobie, this is something that every dented can go back to their parent-child relationship, and it's like a tether to all the problems in my mind.
Sure.
Okay.
What's the first thing they ask you in therapy? Tell me about your childhood.
Right. Okay.
We're going to do that today.
We are. I also believe I am a parent. You're not a parent.
And that's part of the reason. Why? Because I was afraid I was going to do what it was done to me.
Yeah.
So it affected me that much that I went completely the opposite route.
Right. Yeah. Well, I have two awesome kids.
Yes, you do.
And they're not awesome because of me necessarily. They're, I have a partner, my wife of, 26 years who, speaking of mothers, I don't think there is a mother watching or any mother anywhere that's perfect. I just don't think that exists. Perfect mothers.
I don't think we're requesting that.
No. And I don't think so either, okay? So I want to level set that from the beginning. My wife dealt with our kids with love first, always. And that's different than than my experience has been watching, talking, all of these other things. That's a different approach.
It's a basic DNA to her upbringing versus our upbringing as Dented Cans. Now, I met your wife's mother at one time, and she was a very nice lady.
She is. And she's just full of love. She likes to give to everybody. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to spend time on my wife necessarily, other than I think she did a great job as a mother. My kids are proof. Okay. Mm-hmm. So my kids are self-sufficient. They're educated, so
hopefully they're not viewers of this program because they don't need it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Like the rest of us, I'll talk about my mom first, and then I want to talk about your mom.
Okay.
And you've said many times, even on previous episodes, that Dobie said that shit is shit.
Pig shit, horse shit, grape shit, turtle shit, cat shit. Shit is shit.
I actually, I've had a relationship with my mom, and she's actually a good person. Okay. And it used to be a situation where people would say, well, the reason you two don't get along is because you're just alike. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that was in some book or that's Jung or, Freud or somebody put that together. I think that's bullshit. We're not anything alike at all. We're not. There's certain pockets of things where we agree, but we're different people. Right. Mm-hmm. And I think the reason that my mom and I have had a stressful relationship, and if she were here, she probably would agree with this, is because of what was going on around us. What was going on around us at the time.
Now, I'm no doctor, but you're the oldest, correct?
I'm the oldest.
So a lot of times the oldest gets the experiments.
Well, and I was a mistake. I wasn't a planned,
You were conceived in love.
Yeah.
A picture of you in their minds, both of them, in the back of that pickup truck. There's little Max with his pink little cheeks.
Well, when my father was thinking only of himself, mm-hmm. My mom was there in the trenches. She never, ever abandoned us. She never, ever, we never went without. We might have lived in housing because that's all she could do, but our house was spotless. We were clean. We had all the food we needed, all of our doctor visits. We had everything we needed, okay? Mm-hmm. I felt like she was just in such a fight mode because she just, that's what I felt most of the time.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
And we didn't really have a time to, maybe in the very beginning, maybe when I was really small, maybe that was a different time. That was in the, late 60s, early 70s, completely different time than right now,
Absolutely.
Obviously, in many ways. And that was in a little bitty town in Iowa. Okay. So for a time there probably was as normal as it could be. You didn't even get that opportunity. We'll get to that here real quickly. Mm-hmm. But I can say I love my mother. I can say I love my mother. I can also say that our relationship's difficult, and I feel like she has. I feel like she has picked some really self-centered men. That's what I feel like,
Okay.
My dad.
Starting with your father.
My dad. So yeah, and my dad was focused on my dad. Which is he was an alcoholic. I think that's a hallmark of an alcoholic is you're pretty self-centered. So,
Sure.
Right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't spent a lot of time on that, but
But she was a teenager when she had you?
yes.
Okay. I mean, sometimes you can cut people slack. How were you at 18? And I'm not trying to be a cross-examiner or judging anybody. But I look back at my own situation. I'm thinking, okay, you try as you're an adult, look back on the situation, you see things differently. And then sometimes, well, we did the best we could. How many times you hear that line of shit?
That's a tough one for me because
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think any parent does the best they can. I think that's easy for us all to let ourselves off the hook. Really doing the best you can. Really doing the best you can. That's not true. No one's doing that I've ever experienced. Maybe somebody who wouldn't watch this
Yeah,
is
right.
doing it, you
Yeah.
know? Maybe somebody who would see this and go, I don't need that in my life,
Think.
Right,
Yep.
exactly. My relationship with my mom, I love my mom. I'd do anything for my mom. At the same time, we it's hard. Our relationship's hard. And I truly believe it's because of what was going on around us.
Do you think are there any smoldering issues? Have you talked through everything?
We can't talk through everything.
Okay.
We don't view the world the same way.
Okay.
And I don't like being cut off mid-sentence. You see what I'm saying? So, we're not able to talk rationally about things because we feel so passionately different about certain topics,
Okay.
So, I mean, politics, religion, we don't see eye to eye on some of these things. So, and I'm not saying I'm right by any stretch. I'm not saying that.
Sure.
But I'm an opinionated guy.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like about you,
Well,
bud.
but I mean, I don't want to push my will on others, right? And this is a safe environment because I'm admitting that I'm a dented can by just being here,
Sure.
right?
And if you're watching, you are too, and we love you for it. Because I think we all are dented cans to some degree. But other some had a little mosquito bounce off the can. Other people had a sledgehammer.
I'm grateful that I have a mother. I'm grateful for all she did for us because she did. So, and Mom, if you're watching this, thank you so much for all you did. And I mean that from my heart. I really do. Because you did go through a ton with no help. And I was not an easy child for you to have around either because I was in pain. So thank you for that. So there we go on that. Do you think your mom's going to watch this?
I don't know, Max. I mean, I met your mom one time, and from an outsider's point of view, she seemed like a nice lady.
She is a nice lady.
But my standards are pretty low. And we're going to talk about this, and I'm not doing this for sympathy. My father, one of the few wise things he said, sympathy is between shit and syphilis in the dictionary. Leave it there. And I'm not doing this for sympathy. I just want to say it once and get it out. My mother's situation is very painful, as his father's situation too. My parents were married. I was the third child. I was 5 months old, and my mother left. She up and left. And there were stories that she was a drug addict. The couple times that I met her, she did admit that. So that she got into the Jehovah's Witnesses, and they don't believe in sending any kind of card. So I never got a card from her, and I was raised by my grandparents. And as a little kid, you always wonder, well, where's mommy? If she'd have been dead, I could have put some closure to it. But I never did. And this episode happens to be airing for the first time on Mother's Day when we're doing it. And Mother's Day has always been the second toughest one besides Christmas. We talk about other episodes. I reunited with my siblings. That is going really well. It got to the point of the last few years, I look forward to Christmas. I never look forward to Mother's Day. It's so painful. I saw my mom for the first time, I remember when I was about 9 or 10 years old. She came out of the blue one time, and she took us to the zoo, older brother and older sister and me. And she was just complaining the whole time. Why didn't we call her mom? We wanted money for ice cream, whatever. We were kids. And it was not fun. It was not fulfilling. And then I didn't see her again for years till I was about 18 years old. And she had some kind of a family reunion, and she drug us because she wanted to show off her kids at the family reunion. And that wasn't fun either. And then I didn't see her again until I was well, I'll tell you that story in a second. But I 30 years old, age 30, I had a car accident. I almost died. I was in intensive care, and in Milwaukee, my hometown, there was an article in the paper that said local DJ slash comedian had a bad car accident in intensive care. So the phone rings in my hospital room. Ring. Hello. This is your mother. Click. Ring. Hello. Why did you hang up on me? Click. Ring. Please don't keep hanging up on me. I'm your mother, and you're sick and you're hurt and you're going to die. And I said, look, I'm not really mentally or physically ready for this right now. Well, I want to see my baby. Well, you didn't see me all these years. Why do you want to see me now? And I won't hang up, but if you want to see me, you can see me after I get out, because the doctors tell me I'm going to have months of recovering. I have to learn how to walk all over again. I will be home all the time. Well, give me your phone number, and when can I come? And I said, well, I'll be home 24/7. I have to go maybe 1 hour for therapy. So she said, well, I'll come Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And okay. And I couldn't even lay in a bed. My bones were broken, and I was in a lazy boy chair. And it got to be 5 to 8, and 5 after 8, and 10 to 9, and quarter to 10, and midnight, and 3 in the morning. And she didn't call, and she didn't show up, and I didn't see her again for decades. And that just takes a stabbing dagger to the heart of a kid. All the pain that was in the car accident. I flipped a convertible over. I broke bones. I broke my jaw. I couldn't eat. I couldn't walk. It hurt more that she didn't call or she didn't come. After all that lifetime before that, it just ripped my soul to the roots. And then I didn't see her, and it got to the point where just in the past year, as we record this, my older brother had a stroke several years ago, and he's in a nursing home. And I have a younger brother, half brother, and the four of us to be in one room. In 40 years, we counted, we could think of maybe 4 times, and 2 of them were in the last few years as we reconciled. So younger brother came up from Florida, where he lives, calls my sister and say, hey, let's go see our brother. Called me, and the 4 of us can get together. So it was a wonderful time, Max. One of the most fun times of our lives together. We never had it as kids, but 3 of us, we drove 2 hours to see the brother. We laughed the whole way up there. There was no smoldering issues. We stopped and had lunch at the Ponderosa Steakhouse. You know me. I love the Ponderosa. I'm old. When I was young, that $7.99 steak that the cow probably died of radiation poisoning. It's probably got germs and fungus on it. But we sat around, we had a big meal, and we walked into the room to see our brother. And my sister had brought her daughter, my niece, and her granddaughter, her daughter. Okay, so it's a whole family thing. And we get in there, and it was just like a Hollywood script. A brother was in his wheelchair, facing his back to the door of the room. We were all in front of him like an audience. And he was glad to see us because he didn't know we were coming. And his eyes are big, and we're laughing, and we're hugging, and we're saying all things. And as if on cue, behind him, in walks our mother. I haven't seen her. I knew it was her. Hadn't seen her for decades. And our mouths just dropped. And she came in. Hi, it's me. Okay, and our brother knew who it was. So she comes up, and she looks at my sister. Oh, I haven't seen you in such a long time. And my sister can't stand her either. And these must be your kids and your grandkids. And she looked at my half-brother. He's not even, we share a father, but not her. Oh, and you. And she looked at me. I'll never forget it. And who are you? Max, I just about shit straight up in the air. I said, I'm just the driver. I just came along to, oh, hello, Mr. Driver. So anyway, and she didn't know it was me. I was just kidding. I thought I was kidding. And it comes to the point where after decades of not seeing her, you put it in your closet of your soul. There's a little bottle of acid there that you put it there in the back behind the shoes that you don't wear anymore and all the equipment and sports equipment. And that just is knocked it over. I said, you know what? Why don't you guys have some family time? I'll go out in the car and check my emails. You guys come out when you're done. So they were in there about a half an hour, and my sister came out, and she said, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like, why would you be sorry? I said, but what are the chances of that? And the first thing I did when I was driving the car is stop and buy some lottery tickets, because that's a 1 in 10 million shot that would ever happen. Hollywood could not write a script like that. And I just, again, all that, whatever was healing over from the decades before that I saw, it ripped it out again. And I don't know. You said you love your mother, and I admire you for that. I honestly have no feelings for her at all. It's pain. It's constant pain every day for me. Mother's Day, oh, buy your mom, take her out to lunch because you know all the things that she did for you. No, I don't. And again, I want to get this out of my soul so I never have to tell the story again. Why are you so mean? Because there are people watching this that have worse stories, and I really feel bad for them, but I know they do. Again, shit is shit. We talk about it all the time. I want to get to the core of the source of trying to forgive, trying to heal. I don't know where that is. I really don't. I feel like I have no feeling in my limbs. You know, I'm an amputee, and I don't know how it's ever going to feel better. So we got it out there now. There is the pain. How do you deal with it? How do you heal? What do you do? I don't know what to do.
Like I said before, I don't have the same experience.
Mm-hmm.
So, compared to you in my mind,
Yeah.
I hit the lottery.
You agree with this, though? And again, I'm not trying to be a doctor, but it takes both sides to heal. And it takes both sides to want to heal. And just because someone is a parent does not mean they are the adult in the relationship.
Right.
I'm not trying to point blame, but I think we are two imperfect beings, all people in any kind of relationship.
Right.
There's got to be something where a trust has got to be established.
Yes.
I haven't established that with my mother. I don't. I have more feelings for, and people say, you are your father, you marry your mother. Why am I still single? Every nice woman I've ever gotten involved with, they all said the same thing. You never let me in. No, I don't. I'll be the first one to admit that. Well, how can you have a relationship if you don't open your heart?
You can't.
Because it's been smacked so many times.
Right. Yeah.
And it still stings. And it took 25 years for that other one to start going away.
Yeah.
She did it again.
Yeah.
And this is just, as we record this, recently.
Right.
And now that Mother's Day is, and I see the commercials on the internet, and it just, I can't relate to it, man.
Does she have other kids other than
No.
the four of you?
No.
Okay.
She did not.
Or actually the three of you.
Three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And our other, I don't want to call him a half brother because he's my brother, and I don't want to insult him. And maybe he watches, maybe he doesn't, and I don't know. But I love him just like we're all the four of us, and the same. How many are you have three?
No. Well, with my mom and
Yes.
my dad, it's just my brother and I.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
So that's it.
Now, now being too nosy, how does your brother? Does he take it the same way you do? Does he have the same kind of
No.
relationship?
My brother's a different guy entirely.
We all are.
No, he's totally different than me. And his relationship with mom is it's much stronger. She's a good person. I don't think your mom's a good person. So, because I don't know. That's just me being honest with you. I love you, man, but
I don't know.
she's not a good person.
I don't
How
know her
could
well
she
enough.
be? How could she be a good person doing that? I mean, I don't get that.
How bad are her dents? I don't know.
Well, that's what
I don't have any feelings for her. My sister can't stand her. I was 5 months old when it happened.
Yeah.
I don't think, again, I'm not looking for sympathy. You can rip a child away from the physical bond of a mother and not have there be damage. My sister said, well, she was almost 5, so she remembers a lot of the things. And my dad was a biker, and she was into her thing, whatever it was. And I'm not going to get into it, but I've heard all kinds of rumors. It was not the model marriage, I'll put it that way. And that's fine. A lot of people have those kind of situations, but she had decades to make up for it. I got one birthday card from her when I was 27. It's not even a round number. I don't know why she did it.
Sorry to laugh.
No, it is. I could have been 30, 35, whatever, 27. And it wasn't even a funny Ziggy card. I know she got it probably at a rummage sale or whatever. And you are great, GRATE.
Yeah.
It's like, a little trip down Sesame Street or something. Right. I'm not poking fun at her, but I can't believe that you always hear about a face only a mother could love and a mother's bond. She didn't do it with any of us. It wasn't just me. My brother had some contact with her because he knew her side of the family a little bit more, and he moved out to a small town to basically get a job this was years ago. So he saw her a few times, and he would tease my sister and I. It's like, Mom says hi. We couldn't call her Mom. We called her by her first name, and it wasn't out of disrespect, but she didn't do anything to earn being a mother. And a father is one thing, but a mother is supposed to, the bond. She carries you, she delivers you, supposed to, hug you, feed you, whatever. And I just have a big void there. And I look at
still at your age now.
Oh yeah.
And it's
not going away.
It's been what has defined you, the pain.
Usually when people think they have problems with a parent, it's usually the father.
Right.
Because men are macho and
Yeah.
don't hug and things like that. And there are people, Johnny Carson had a lot of problems with his mother.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he won Entertainer of the Year, and Johnny Carson, if you're under 35, was probably one of the top 2 or 3 biggest stars of the 20th century. And I don't think I'm exaggerating there.
No.
He was on Late at Night, a talk show, and all the other shows that you see now are basically based off of what Johnny Carson did. And
Jack Parr before him.
Jack Parr before him and Steve Allen before him.
Yep,
so
right.
there was a pattern there, but Johnny really took it in the groove for
He did.
30 years.
He did.
And he won the Entertainer of the Year, and a quote from his mother was, "They gave it to him." How would you like if your mother said that? Max,
Yeah.
Broadcaster of the Year.
Yeah.
They gave it to him.
You mean this right
That
here?
right there,
Yeah.
buddy. That one. You know, there's a pointy end for a reason because that's where it goes.
yeah.
And Johnny Carson, they said when he died, they found a bunch of letters from his mother that was in his room.
Yeah.
And he wanted the acceptance of her and never got it. So there are people that have bad relationships with both. There are few
Right.
that had good relationships with both, but most is usually one or the other. But with me, it's both. But yeah, Mom, it's a source of pain, and I don't want to be angry, and I want to forgive, and I want to just let it go. But man, that heart's had some mallet marks on it.
What do you touched on this just a little while ago? Do you think that? I mean, we all know that your dad Russ was a model citizen and a great Christian.
He's got about 6 of those. He put him on his junk truck that he used to roam through the alleys and look for scrap metal.
I'm sorry. Oh, that was too easy. But no, do you think that she had some problems before meeting him, or do you think that she was so afraid of him and so done with it that she just left all of you guys?
I don't know. I've talked about it with my siblings, brother and sister. I've thought about it myself. I've talked to actually a couple of her. Her mother got around, and she had about 4 different last names. You know, Fawcett Majors, Rodham Clinton, Abdul Jabbar. You know, they're okay. And I think my mother, and she was the oldest, and her first brother were the only 2 by that father. From what I heard, he was a truck driver, and he died of a heart attack behind the wheel. So whether that's going to be me, I have no idea. But we don't know. I mean, your family, your mom's generation and your dad's generation, sometimes genetics goes back and skips several generations. So you and I are who we are. We aren't necessarily a mirror of each of our parents. There are some genetic,
Right.
similarities in there. But like I said, you and your mom are nothing like each other.
I think about from my mother's standpoint, and maybe any other mothers that are watching right now. I think about her being someone's daughter. Great student, great daughter. You know, she did everything. She was one of those kids that was a good kid by all accounts, right? But she went from that one day to being somebody's wife and mother that quickly as a teenager.
Do you think that was her goal? Was that her aspiration?
No way. No way. She wanted to be a veterinarian. No way. Well, I don't know if you're up for this or not.
I am up for anything, Max. This is the Dented Cast. We do things. We claim areas no one will go.
Assume she's watching.
Okay.
Talk into your camera and tell her how you really feel about her.
I have a question for you that I've been meaning to ask for a long time. Do you love yourself? Do you ever think about what caused you to stay away from your children? Your blood creatures that came through you, came through your person, and are all deeply in pain because of your neglect. And anger, we're way past anger. I was mad when I was a little kid, but now I just hurt because I'm still a little kid as old age approaches and arthritis and you damn kids get off my lawn. I didn't have any kids because I was afraid I would turn out like you and the old man. So I wish I could say I forgive you, but I'm working on that. I'm working on myself every day. If it wasn't for Max, there might be a bullet in my head. And that's why we're doing this, because so many other people are hurting. So I want to say this. I want to thank you for doing what you did and being yourself unconditionally. I'm trying to love you. Can't say that right now. But what we can do is put this program together to help so many others. So indirectly, you had something to do with that. and I choose to make it a positive experience. On this cosmic plane, if there is reincarnation and we get together again, maybe I'll be the neglectful asshole. Maybe I'll be the shiftless, shirking responsibilities person. All those decades you had to make up, and you sent me one fucking card when I was 27, and sneeze, wipe, flick. I kept it for about 2 minutes, and it meant absolutely nothing. So you should have kept the money for the stamp and used it for booze or drugs or whatever you did, because basically you lived your whole life proving that you were the only one that mattered. So I hope you're happy, and I don't wish you anything bad, because we're doing good despite what you did first. That's a long answer, Max.
Wow.
I'm very sorry.
Yes.
And we can edit that out.
No,
And we
we're not
can
gonna
put
edit it
our
out.
sponsor, you know.
Yeah.
Beef jerky, yeah, it's the best. You know?
Yeah.
And I've been
If she said to you, "I'm sorry, I have a mental illness. I am a sociopath. I have personality disorder. I have whatever mental illness. I hate myself for it. I really, really don't know how to act around other human beings. Would any of that matter or no?"
That's a really good question. I never thought about it before, and I suppose it would. But don't you think it's a little late to admit that now? If you would have admitted it right away, look, I have a lot of problems. You're raised by your grandparents. I couldn't do the job. Okay, I would have understood that, I believe, at age 6.
Right.
But now I don't understand it now. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And if she would have been dead, there's no closure. There's never been closure. And so people, you got to forgive and forget. You got to build a bridge and get over it. All those little Hallmark card, ziggy little cute little things.
Yeah.
It's easy to say with your trust fund and your own, you know, your inherited boat that your mom, dad left you. I see that so many times. Well, you got to get over it, you know. And Jesus is the answer. We're going to talk about that in other episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I want to get this out so I never have to talk about it again.
Okay.
And I appreciate you doing that, but I think there are so many others that have that, and it's like a zit or a boil or something that just pressure builds up, and you gotta put that and let the pus drain out, man. So happy Mother's Day, everybody! Hope you take the mom over to Big Boy for a plate of chicken and dumplings for all the shit diapers that she scrubbed and your name on it.
Hey, I would like to say for other mothers listening, thank you, because being a mom is a tough job. I'm not trying to downplay that. And to my own mother, Mom, thank you for all of the things that you did do for both my brother and I do love you. And so thank you. I know you're watching this. My mom actually said to me, Dobie, when she found out about this show, that she said in a cracked voice, she goes, "Don't you think I'm a dented can?" And she started crying. So, you know, I mean, look, there's a lot more where this came from. I love you, man.
I love you too.
Yeah.
And we're doing good work. And we might stumble and stammer, but you know that it's like a car accident. You can't turn away. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button, because we're going to do this whether you want us to or not.
Yes, that's right. 2 viewers or 2 million. Doesn't
We
matter.
are the Dented Can of Thousands, and we love you too. Thank you for watching. We will be back. Oh, we will be back.